What's going on, everybody? My name is Swole. I am a producer, recording and mixing engineer in LA. Today, I'm going to be doing a mix deconstruction for, for a song titled "Early Bird" by the artist John H. Bravo featuring Kxng. So I'm gonna put the project link in the description. I mixed 3 songs on that project, the first 3, and I recorded Bravo's verse to this one, and I recorded the other 2 also. So yeah, the link is gonna be in the description. Check that out when I'm saying, now or after you watch this video, preferably. And yeah, so I'm gonna go through the whole mix. I'm gonna tell you everything that I could tell you. I'm gonna be as transparent as possible. I'm trying to just hopefully somebody can be helped by this. So yeah, I'm gonna bypass all my plugins, and we gonna literally go into this like it's already mixed, but we're gonna kind of go into it like you feel me, this is happening step by step. And I'm gonna tell y'all my thought process, my mix philosophy, or my current process and my current mix philosophy, even though my current one has changed from what this one is. So this is a constant evolving thing, but I'm gonna tell y'all what all happened and what all I was thinking as much as I can. And enough of me rambling and talking. If you're liking the vibe, like and subscribe. Oh, my bad. If you're liking the vibe, like and subscribe. Let's go. I'm gonna just play the song from the 10-op. Let me switch the screen. Yes, sir. We in there. All good. So just so y'all can kind of get familiar with the song, I'm going to play it from the top. So here we go.
Early bird, get the worm, get that money. All about my money, big worm. All about the bread. These some lame ass niggas, big sherms. Can't fuck with these niggas germs. Nah. Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thigh hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Rollin' through the hood with a hammer tuck. Sit your ass down, can't stand with us. Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, get mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thigh hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Roll through the hood with a hammer tuck. Sit your ass down, can't stand with us. Bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky records, my Sprite. Lame niggas dead on sight. Money y'all in my sight. Couple bitches go die. Bring a friend with them, like surprise, surprise. Lay them both on sight, then they leave alright. Grab a leaf, hold my weed perfectly every time. I got that weed too hot to handle. I wax the candle on that.
All right, we're gonna go to Kxng's verse real quick.
Shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to right or wrong. I'm awkward dog, I'm tryna buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in a Uber car. Cause I'm a shooting star, but she too support. So I kicked her out, now she mad and pout. Like I gotta leave and I'm like a cause. Now she blowing up my phone. Got a little shorty about 38 hot. I ride down 38 for 38 drop. Bring any drum up at the 38 pop. I'm out of your league, little hoe, better act like you know that the flow is on top. Dog, I'm a bar till they give me my spot. Little ass shack flow like hard as a rock. Cootie ass nigga, bitch, I got a whole.
Yeah. So that's just the gist of the song. We're gonna get, really familiar with this song. So don't worry. Or you could just go listen to the whole project right now, or after you finish watching this video. So when I first get the session, first thing I do is I save as and rename it, the title of the song, Swole Mix 1.0. So I know this is my first version of the mix, and there were no revisions on this mix. We hit that thing, V1 gang. So there's only a 1.0. And before the original session that I pull up, I named that like flat or something. Actually, let me whoa. Let me go here and show y'all real quickly. Early bird. So I'll name it Swole Mix, right? And then I'll have a flat session. This flat session is nothing. It's just all the files here, everything there. So if I mix this song and I destroy it, which has never happened, but just in case, for some reason, I need to just totally scrap everything I did and go back to the beginning, I can quickly just pull up this flat session, and then you know, rename it 2.0 and start all over. You feel me? So I name a flat session, and then I name, you know, a 1.0 session, and then I start, you know, everything else from there. And then I get all the files. I listen to the rough. In this case, I made the beat also, and I recorded Bravo's part, so I made the rough. So the rough here is just the beat. But if this was a song that I did not record and I wasn't familiar with, I would have the rough here, and I would listen to that. God damn, I need to clear my throat. I would listen to that and kind of get a little bit familiar with it, and then I would go through all the sounds and make sure that I have everything that the rough has. Because sometimes, you know, you'll get the files from the producer or whatever, and certain files will be missing, or, you know, certain things will be overlapped, and you'll try to see, hey, can I get this separated, or, you know, do you want to print the effects? But sometimes if I just get the effects, at this point, I'd be happy to get the trackouts. So if it got effects on it, unless it's bad, I'll make it work. You feel me? So what we gonna do now? We're gonna kind of go over my session structure. So once I get all the files, I made sure that I have everything. I have all the files of the beat, all the files from the vocals. In this case, I recorded the vocals, but Blxck, he sent his vocals over. So I just made sure I had everything from him as far as the rough that he sent also. And, you know, everything is good. Everything checks out. Now I'm going to kind of organize everything and kind of create my session structure. So how I like to have everything set up, I like to have the rough on top of, you know, everything. Then the music, my music effects. And when I say the music, I mean like, you know, pads, strings, pianos, synths, you know, loops, or like music loops, you know, like instruments like that. You feel me? I like to have those up here, and then those red. And I like for the main instruments, like the main music stuff, to be a darker color red, and then the supporting music stuff to be a lighter color red. And then there's my music effects. And in this case, there were these intro effects that were like animal noises and stuff like that. I made a bus to bus all of them to this intro sound effects, and I just made that orange because I did not like any of these other reds, or I had, you know, it wasn't revealing enough. The difference wasn't big enough for my eyes, so I can quickly see that, oh, this is just the intro sound effects bus. And then these are my music effects. I make those orange, and then I have the kick right under there, and I like for it to be this color. And then these are some parallel compression situations right here. And then this is the Kxng. I send all of this to the Kxng. So I like to just go lighter in shade if you haven't kind of noticed the trend. Darker red, lighter red, and then, you know, these are orange, and then this is a little lighter orange, but there's this darker, this purple kind of color. I'm not the best with colors, but we're just gonna call this purple today. And then it's just like purpley pinkish kind of color, and then it just gets lighter. And then for my bass, I like my basses to be blue, so that you got this darker blue. I thought I was gonna do some parallel compression on this song for the 808, but felt like I didn't need to, so I didn't. But that's a lighter blue, and then the 808 sum is an even lighter blue. And then I got this bass guitar sound. That's you know, that same blue as the 808. Then it's a little lighter blue for this distortion, but that's really on the 808. So yeah. And then for my drums, I like the drums to be right up under here, and all my drums are green. So the main like drums that I know I want to put in the center. In this case, there's this snap and this clap sound. I want those to kind of more so be in the center. And then I put those, I sent those to a bus to process them both together because they're working together. And that's a little bit of a lighter green, but these are darker green. And then my other percussion instruments are a lighter green, and then the bus is an even lighter green than that. And then my drum effects are this color green. This kind of changes, it just depends on whatever green is available that separates it visually for me. And then I do like little delay throws and reverb throws, or whatever kind of interesting like vocal effects and sometimes effects for the beat. Sometimes I'll make a separate one if I do like little throws for stuff in the beat, and I'll have like, you know, music throws or instrumental throws or whatever, but these are for the vocals in this case. And I like these to be this blue color. Oh my god. Fuck. I like for these to be this blue color, and then the bus a little bit lighter. And then I got the tag, this pinkish color, whatever. And then I got the lead vocals. So these are Bravo's lead vocals, and they're a darker purple or a violet for vocals. And then my vocal buses are all this color. So all of these vocals, they're going to this leads bus. I do some processing on there, and then I send those to this leads bus, and I do some processing on there, and then that goes to, you know, where my vocal bus is that we'll go over later when I go over the routing. But just for some overall session structure, this is how I have everything colored and separated. Also, one thing to note, for the vocals, I like to separate the hook and the verse, because say I want a certain type of effect just on the hook, I can easily do that really quickly. Sometimes I'll even separate the intro. Like, I'll bring the intro up here. Honestly, usually I do separate the intro, but in this case, I didn't need to, and it was okay. But if I want to put a effect or something just straight on this vocal, I can do that really quickly without having to, you know, separate them when I start mixing. Like, I can just move quickly and fast. If I need to send these vocals to a whole different aux than these, and this be the hook vocals for these auxes, and then I have a Bravo verse lead vocals aux. If I need to do that, I can do that real quickly, you know. So I like to separate all of these. And then here's Blxck. Oh, these are my effects also. This is a little VCA to control the lead vocal, because sometimes, in this case, I did not in this case I did not do any volume automation on this last lead vocal bus for Bravo, but usually I do some volume automation here, and then I like to put a VCA fader after that just to change the overall level of the vocal if I need to. And then these are my effects. They're this kind of dark teal kind of color, or aqua green, aqua blue, whatever it is. And then Blxck, same color as Bravo's because they're lead vocals. And then the ad-libs, they're a little bit lighter, but the buses still the same color. The effects still the same color. And then the background vocals are next, but they're just down here. Oh my God, they're just down here because, you know, just for, I don't know, they're just down here. But anyway, the background vocals are a little different purple than the ad-libs and the leads. You know, I just like them to just be a little different purple so I can quickly see what's going on and I can go to them. And then I like for my tracks to be the same color as these also. If you don't know how to do that, you can go to Preferences, and you can click Track Color, click Default, Default Clip Color Coding, Track Color under Display, and it will turn all of these clips the same color as your track color. And whoa, where we at? What's happening? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so, okay, also, I got a little list right here to make sure I don't forget nothing, because I'm trying to make sure I say everything I can say. So, when I get all these sounds, I go through and rename everything. If I did not make the beat, I will rename it in the comments. You know, I'll go OG Loop in the comments. I'll name it whatever I think is named. And that's just because if they are like, can you turn up the bazooka drum left or something, you know, I'll be like, what the fuck is the bazooka drum left, bruh? You know what I'm saying? So I could quickly be like, oh, that's the bazooka drum left. Let me turn that up a little bit, instead of trying to figure it out or going back and forth with them on figuring it out, you know? So I just rename it in the comments, and I let them, whatever they named it, that's what it stays. I just do it in the comments. What else I got on here? Okay, we good. So now I got everything set up. I haven't routed anything yet, even though I have now, but just we're going back in time here. Just roll with me. So I got everything set up. I got everything color coded and organized the way I like for stuff to be organized, right? Now a lot of times the music is just hella loud. So I'm gonna clip gain down all the music. So I'm gonna just select everything, select all the music. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do all that, and then I'm gonna just clip gain all of that down. Shift Windows, scroll wheel, move that around. Clip it down to where it makes sense to me, volume wise. To where the meters are hitting where I want them to hit. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do my routing now. So I have everything set up. I have everything color coded, so it's really quick and easy for me to do my routing. I'm gonna switch to this window to do my routing because it makes more sense to me. So I'll just select these and I'll route those to M1. So let me go over how my session is set up. I'm gonna go from I'll go from the top. So this is my master fader. On my master fader, I just have some analyzation stuff. This pass analyzer from Waves, this MB, this VU meters. I think that's free. So when I'm clip gaining my music down, I like for everything playing together to hit like in this area, really between -1 and +1. I like to just like for it to be somewhere in that area. Then it's another free plugin, loudness analyzer. But these are things more so I look at towards the end of the mix anyway. So that's my master fader. This is where I send the mix to when we're playing it. So when I play this, I'm about to play it right now, you'll see the music coming through here.
Early bird, get the
right, so it's playing through here. And then this right here is how I'm streaming this to y'all or whatever. This is how y'all are hearing it through this Q mix. This is how I'm talking to y'all. And so here's my pre-master, and you see these things right here. This is what I like to keep stuff simple. I like simple words that, help me get where I'm trying to go without overthinking this shit. I like a little bit of contrast somewhere in the music if I can make it happen, and feel. I want this to feel how it's supposed to feel. I literally, when I'm mixing, when I'm making any move with any plugin, I'm thinking feel and energy. I'm not thinking technical as much unless it's like a serious technical issue that I'm fixing. I'm more so paying attention to how it feels and the energy of whatever is happening. So that's why I like to put this right here just to remind myself, contrast, feel, energy. So I have that literally there on my template on all my mixes. This is just there. And then I have contrast here again because contrast is something really, really interesting and cool. And contrast, in my opinion, kind of happens in the beginning of the song. Hopefully I'll remember to mention that to y'all. But this is my pre-master. This is where I do all my, little mix bus processing type stuff. This is where all the music is sent to the instrumental, the drums, the music, the bass, the drum effects, the music effects, all of that is sent to the instrumental. And then this is where I separate the music out on my buses. So I like for the main music, like this loop and this flute, to be sent to M1. These shots and these like sound effects and these animal noises, those are sent to M2. Just in case I want to process those, a little differently. I separate them like that. And then all my music effects, in this case these 2 reverbs, I send those to the music effects, and all 3 of these things go to all the music. And then I did some processing on all the music. In this case, I didn't want to do anything separately to those. And on my drums, so in this mix, this is changed now, but in this mix, I sent the kick and the snap and the clap to this bus because I want those to be in the center. I sent all my perks on my percussion sounds for the drums to this bus because I like to do some processing to the perks separately that I don't want to do on the kick and the snare on the things that I want to stay in the center. So I separate those. I do some imaging stuff on there that will go over, and then I send both of those, including the drum effects, to all the drums, to the drum bus. And for my bass, I send my bass, my 808s, the bass, whatever, I send that just to this bass bus. Now I actually send the kick and the bass to this bus, and it's just the clap or the snare or whatever here on this bus. But now I have this be my kick and bass bus. I'm experimenting with that. I might go back to this. I might stay this way. I might switch it up for different songs. I don't know. But right now, this is what I'm rocking with. And then on my vocals, go to this bus, but I separate my lead vocals and my background vocals and send them to these buses. So all my lead vocals are going to this one. All my background vocals like ad-libs, stacks, harmonies, whatever, going to this bus. And then all my vocal effects going here. And like all the other situations, all of these are going to the all vocals bus. I did some processing on there. And I do this for all the same reasons, I might want to process, I definitely want to process the lead vocals just slightly a little differently than I want to do on all of the background vocals, So that's how I do it. Then I have my rough. Then we got this right here. So that's basically my routing, That's basically how I do everything. What else we got? I'm going to go to the vocals so y'all can kind of see a little more. Also, I guess I'll talk about this parallel compression. So I was going to do this more when I actually talk about it, but for routing purposes, we can do this. So I create the send or aux or whatever, bus, whatever you want to call it. And I have my kick parallel right here, put on pre-fader, have it at unity gain. And then I create my parallel, buses or whatever. And I send all of these, they're all on the same send right here. Excuse me. And I do that so I can just easily mix them in. Like I'm just putting this on the kick, I'm not putting it on anything else. So I only need one send and I'm just blending those how I see fit. Now I like for my kick and all my parallel situations to become the new sound that I'm now gonna process together. So I like to have this is the main kick, the actual kick right here, the actual sound. This is the parallel change, and then this all goes to the Kxng, to where I put all of that together and I process those together as the new kick sound. And I was doing the same thing for the 808, but I felt I didn't need to use it, so I didn't. And then I told y'all this earlier. I got this bus for the claps. And, this is the drum effects. This is all music VCA that I did not use, but I maybe thought I was going to at some point, but I didn't. My throws, going to the throw bus, tag. So then last thing for the vocals. I'm going to go over this when I get to it, but let me just make sure I'm not skipping anything. Click down. Okay, yeah. So I'll separate this into what I'm doing. So the left side is my rough mix side. The right side is like more my mix side when I start getting more detail, really trying to create that separation, really trying to make the vocal pop like how I wanted to. Because I mix everything. I sound juggle. Like I go from sound to sound. I go all over the place, just finding that balance, finding the flavors, finding the feel of the song. So we're going to go through it when we get to there, but that's why I have this separated like this. I have this on one side and this and more plugins on this side, because I kind of do some rough mixing on the vocal right here, then I get a little more detailed over here. I also like to do this because if I do want to parallel compress the vocal, I did not in this song, but as you can see, maybe I thought I was, but I was like, no, I don't need to, so I didn't. My parallel compression would be in between these, and this would not be my lead sum. But I like to, when I parallel compress anything, I like to have control over the final sound of all of this together. So all of those things, this bus right here and the parallels would be sent to this lead aux that goes to the lead vocals, just like how I did for the kick. You feel me? Hopefully that makes sense and it's not too crazy or confusing. Here's my VCA. Like I was saying earlier, if I wanted to do some automation here, I can. Then these are my effects. And so on and so forth. Kxng's vocal, all of the ad-libs. Same situation for the ad-libs, my background vocal effects, so on and so forth, right? So yeah, that's my routing. So now you know, we just gonna go through the sounds and we're gonna kind of get a little familiar. So let's listen to the beat. Let's see what we got here. What we working with. Okay, we got a loop. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got a little flute. So this what I do. I just go through the sounds. I just listen to them. I see if I need to do any like interesting stuff to it before I even start mixing or clean up stuff or whatever. Oh shit, when did I press that? Okay, and let's see what all of these sound like. We got some animal noise. A kick. What?
Aight, sit your ass down.
Whoops. So when I'm doing this, and the reason why I played that one is because I was looking at this one and I saw that this waveform looked very different than this one. So I was like, okay, I'll listen to this one. Let me see what this would sound like. And I would do that. I would look and see if these waveforms look different. You can, oh, I forgot about this reverse 808. You can usually look at the waveforms and tell if these things are looped or if something else is happening, and I need to check that out too. Because for the stuff that I mix, I'm mostly mixing program stuff. I'm not mixing too much live stuff, even though I would love to. I want to. But mostly, even if it is live, like a live guitar, like a guitar recording or something like that, it's looped. So, you know, it's not like I'm going to have to do something different for the entire situation. Like, they're not playing the whole guitar through the entire situation for the stuff that I've been working on. But yeah. We got a little snap. Okay. All right. Okay, so now, you know, I'm going through all the sounds. I would do this a little bit more detail, but I'm going through all the sounds. I made sure they all just loop. I know what I'm working with now. You feel me? I know there's no extra weird noises dangling around in any of these sounds. Everything's good. We got it. We got everything we need for the beat. So now what am I going to do next? I'm going to make some locations, right? So now I've gotten familiar with the song. I know what's going on. I'm gonna make some locations. So all you gotta do is hit enter on the numeric keypad, and the location, new memory location window comes up, and you name it what you want to name it, blah, blah, blah. I make some locations, hook, verse, end. Or if there's an outro, I'll do that. If there's like a pre-chorus or pre-hook or a bridge, you know, I'll name those appropriately. But this is how I name it. And I like to put the number right here so I know what number I'm supposed to hit on the numeric keypad. I know if I'm trying to go to Kxng's verse, I can just period for period. We there.
Yeah, shit to a bad.
You feel me? So I like to put the numbers in front so I can do that. I need to go to the end and enter back to the front to print. I can do that easily. So I make them locations, and now I'm going through and I'm cleaning up the session. So like if I heard anything that I need to clean up in the beat, I would clean that up. But mostly it's just gonna be the vocals. I'm gonna be topping and tailing the vocals. I'm gonna be cutting out any extra noise, all that kind of stuff. You feel me? Just, you know, all this extra stuff going on here. We cutting all of that out or moving that. Yep. Moving that wherever, however, doing what we need to do. You feel me? Cleaning that up, cleaning up all the space within the ad libs, blah, 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 right? You know, all of that extra noise in between here, all of that stuff, this little whatever, just going in through top and tail and everything, cleaning all of this stuff up and organizing everything, removing all the noise, blah blah blah, right? And then for the background vocals, I go in and I put these right next to the lead, and then I'll start trying to line them up a little better. But when you line background, or at least how I do it, when I line background vocals up, I'm not looking for them to be right spot on the lead vocal. I'm listening to how it sounds, because when you think about it, when a choir is singing, everyone's not 100% singing directly in time. That's relatively impossible. Now, there are some people who do it and some people who get close, but that's not the sound that we're used to hearing as humans. So I'm not trying to put it directly on the vocal. I'm just trying to make it feel, again, feel and energy. I'm trying to make it feel the way it's supposed to feel, the way it connects with my soul. That's what I'm looking for, right? So I move these up and I put them next to the vocals, and I just listen. I listen to see if anything's off. Let me line this up. So if you got hella harmonies and stuff, this could take a minute. Also one thing to note, I take out all the breaths in between, like this stuff right here. Take all of that out, just top and tail those. I bring down the S's, of course, the consonant sounds, the K, all that stuff, T's and plosive sounds, P's and B's and whatever, so those backgrounds can really sit back. So now I've done all my session setup, routing, cleanup stuff. Now I step out of that mode and I play the rough again. In this case, it would just be the beat, because I made the rough. I have the beat up here just to make sure I'm not destroying the beat. So I would not, in this case, I would not listen to the beat again, because I made the beat. I've listened to it too many times. But if this was a rough, I would just listen to the rough and I would eat some fruit or something and just chill for a second for 10-15 minutes. I wouldn't just go straight into doing the next step. I would just take a slight little break, listen to the rough, and relax for a second. And then after that, after I'm familiar with the rough pretty well, now I'm getting into clip gaining. So let me bring up the clip gain line, shift windows minus or dash or whatever, and I will start clip gaining the vocal. I'll get my levels right, or I will clip gain the vocal to the 2-track beat. That probably is what I did on this one, because I just have the beat up there for the rough. But I start clip gaining the vocal. I start basically drawing in my compression, because I don't really like to use compression. To me, there's this quote from Bruce Swedian, who is my favorite engineer of all time. He says, "Compression is for kids." I high key agree. Not for kids. Damn, that's pretty drastic. But I don't like to lean on compression for controlling my dynamics, because when you have a vocal has so much personality, so many dynamics. And I recorded this and I had can't do that right now. I recorded this and I did have a little bit of compression on the vocal while recording, but I want to enhance or just control ever so slightly those dynamics of the vocal in the context of the song. I want the song to feel like a performance, to have that energy, to where it just feels good. You feel me? So that's what I'm trying to obtain with clip gain automation. So I go through all of the vocals, all of the leads, as detailed as it has to be. And this is all off feel. You don't want to look at the waveform, and you don't want to be like, oh, this S was this high so on the next S it has to be, the same size. No. You're using your ears, you're using, the manipulation of emotion that this song is doing for you. That's what you use to do this. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, I'm not even trying to make the vocal even throughout the song. I'm making this feel like a performance. And this takes some hours. Not even gonna, no, it takes hours to do this. But for me, this is how I get the best mixes. When I just use compression, it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. This is how I get the best results, is going through doing clip gain automation first. Also, if I get a mix and they already have stuff on the vocal, like say for instance, I get a mix and they have a bus right here before my leads bus that has some compression or whatever they have on it, and it's, if I take it off, the entire thing changes. I will volume automate it after. Like I would just volume automate that bus instead of using clip gain automation. Because I don't want to mess up what they have going on, and by me clip gaining it, that alters whatever effect that they, or whatever situation they have going on the, you know, on the bus or on the audio track or whatever. I'll just volume automate the vocal, you feel me? But in this case, I recorded it, you know, I you know, it was me, so I can clip gain it. I can clip gain it, and I prefer to do that, but if I have to volume automate it, I will. So, and let me show y'all, oh snap, let me show y'all this too. Because this is where I do my de-essing. I don't really I don't use de-essers to de-ess. I use them more so as like a one band dynamic EQ or some shit, or one band dynamic compression or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? But I do my de-essing, my de-clicking, all that kind of stuff here. And then if there's like any weird mouth noises, like you see this is detail. Like I'm just taking that little kind of k sound down right there. That was just a little bit too much. You know, little stuff like that, just really shaping the vocal. Can't no compressor do this. Like you can't do this with a compressor. You can't get this detailed and this intricate. But the point is, because I've done this before, I've gotten too detailed and too intricate to where I've taken the life out of the vocal. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to take the life out of the vocal. You want to enhance the life. Here's a case where there was like some mouth noises, and I just pull those down a little bit. So I'll bring this up just to show y'all this example, but this happens in every song. There's just natural mouth noises that we make. I'm sure I've made hella mouth noises on this fucking video. Let me play this right quick.
These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These fuck niggas can't.
Y'all hear that on the now let me bring that back.
These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These fuck niggas can't challenge. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These fuck niggas can't.
Just, you know, just ever so slightly tucks that back. You feel me? That's important, because in the song, in the context of the song, I automate this with the whole song, you know, with everything playing. But in the context of the song, that may pop out and be annoying as hell. You know, after listening to it 5-6 times, you're like, what the, why, when he says that? And this is in the hook too, so this happens, what, 3 times? You know what I'm saying? Like damn, bro, every time he says that, that's shit annoying as fuck. You feel me? So you gotta, I have to pay attention to those things. And that happens many times throughout both artists' vocals, you know. But I go through, I automate this, and I go in, you feel me? I create the performance. And we'll go to Kxng's vocal, just so y'all can see that real quick. This one was a little more intense or so, right? So you feel me? Like you gotta do what you gotta do. I go in and I get it in, you feel me? And that's why I say don't look at the waveform, because if you look at this waveform, when he starts his verse, I have him coming in strong, like, hey, I'm here. I'm finna get these bars off, you feel me? I'm here. And he goes in, he kind of calms down just a tad, got little moments that pop up, blah, 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 starts getting a little more calm. But if I was trying to make this linear and match all the levels, this would not look like this. And it would sound and feel totally different. But you see how he kind of gets a little more calm, and then he turns up right here for a certain part, calms down a little bit, and then for the rest of the verse, he's pretty solidly in this range. Little parts that kind of get a little lower, but he's pretty up there, turning up right now. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes in with a word right there, and then we kind of teeter off at the end. It's kind of a natural thing, and it sounds and feels natural. And I'll even go in and, like, after I get a hook done, I'll fly those hooks over here, but sometimes I'll automate, you know, these hooks up to match the energy of the song, as maybe as the song progresses, these hooks just need to feel just a touch louder, you know. I'll do stuff like that too. And then I do the same thing with the ad-libs. A lot of times with the ad-libs, you just got to change overall volume, but sometimes I got to go in and, you know, change little detail stuff about that too. Even with the S's and the T's, like with the plosives and those consonant sounds, if you're close to somebody, you hear those more clear. You hear the S's and the T's more clear if you're close to somebody. So that's why I want to control those and make those more prominent in the lead vocals, so the lead sounds up front, but in the ad-libs and the background vocals, I want to put those in the back. So I want to lower those S's, lower those T's and those plosive sounds to really help. Like, there's many ways that I put these ad-libs and background vocals in the back, but that's the first way. You know, I start lowering those plosive sounds and consonant and sibilant sounds, so it puts them in the back, right? So I do that for the ad-libs, and I mix a lot in mono, so I'm doing all of this in mono, and I'm really just placing it behind the lead, you feel me? And I do the same thing with the background vocals, placing those where I feel they need to be placed. On these, excuse me, I really mostly just had to lower the S's and the consonant sounds. I didn't have to do too much as far as, whoa, I forgot to bring that back, I guess. I really didn't have to do too much as far as, you know, the level of the words, but oftentimes I do. So yeah, we got that going, and the same thing for Kxng's background vocals. So clip gain automation takes time. Don't get me wrong, it takes time, but major MFing key. If you want to go motherfucking next level, in my opinion, I think adding clip gain automation to your arsenal is a game changer. Now, for my kick and my 808, I also do clip gain automation to the beat, just, you know, to add that. If there are certain melodies that I need to automate with clip gain, I'll do that, or whatever the case may be. In this case, that was not the case. But for the kick and the 808, it was the case. Oh, interesting. Okay. So yeah, for the kick and the 808, I like to draw in the envelope of separation or whatever. I just made that up off the top of the kick and the 808. So I want that kick to really hit, but you don't miss the 808. I used to do this. I actually got this specific technique from Jason Joshua, but when I was kind of starting out, I used to do this with the trim, but for some reason it would only work every now and then. And actually, I think I know the reason now. I think it's because I did not have delay compensation on, which gotta have your delay compensation on. I did not have that, so it would work sometimes, but sometimes it would just be off. Like it would sound terrible, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. So I now do it with clip gain, but it would probably work with the trim now too, because, you know, I have delay compensation on, but at the time I didn't. So put my phone back on the charger. So, you know, now I use this method though, and I don't do this all the time, but if I find that the kick and the 808 is clashing and EQ isn't really working out and I don't really do sidechain compression, this is what I would do, and I can really control it how I want to, and then I just copy and paste it for everyone else, and then usually these things are looped, and I could just, you know, quickly copy and paste all of this clip gain throughout the entire song. So, that's how I do that. What else we got? So now I've clip gained everything. Most times I would likely take one more slight break and listen to music that I love, like music that I just really like. I've already listened to the rough. I already know kind of where I want to go. I have the framework or the picture of the mix in my mind. Now I'm finna, you know, listen to some music that I love and just feel inspired and feel like, oh yeah, this is dope music, yada yada yada. And I'll probably eat some more fruit and kick it and just chill for like, you know, 15-20 minutes. Because after doing this again, this takes hours. This take an hour and a half, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, depending on what you got going on in your mix. You feel me? So I'll take a break, or I'll come back the next day and just go straight into mixing. you know, after listening to some music. But before I start mixing, I really like to listen to music that I love. That's just me though. So I listen to some stuff that I love, and then I go into it. And I go into it with the mindset of I'm about to rough mix this song. Like I'm not, you know, taking myself too serious right now. I'm finna just do a nice little rough mix. I'm finna get nice little blends. You feel me? Like we finna get the vibe and the feel going. Yada yada yada, right? So first I'm gonna start on my mix bus, cause this is how I do it. I put this virtual mix rack from Slate Digital on the mix bus. This virtual mix bus, and I play around with these or whatever. And on all of these, I play around with these and I figure out what sounds the best to me. And I mess with the input and the drive, whatever sounds best to me, right? Put that on the mix bus. And then I put some compression on the mix bus. This is the Dr. Dre Cross-Eyed right here. I'll try out a few different compressors, you know, that I like and see which ones I like the best. But I'll put this on here and I'll, you know, just have a slight bit of little compression. I'll play the song right quick so y'all can see how much is going on right now.
It's the right or wrong. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the ball. I might buy the ball with this little.
You know, just a touch, nothing too crazy. This limiting will come on after, but that's what I would do. And then this mix rack, I'll put this on the music, the drums, the bass, and the vocals. But you gotta listen, especially on the vocals with this. Sometimes this does some phasey stuff that I don't really like on the vocals. So I may or may not have it on there, but on this mix I did. Again, mess around with these settings as I like. I guess I should A-B these, huh? I should A-B. So we'll do that real quick. Let me go. We can do Blxck's verse.
It's the right or wrong. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the ball. I might buy the ball with this little broad. Let her wipe me off up in the Uber car. I'm a shooting star, but she too support. So
it's a little life. I know y'all feel that.
It's the right or wrong. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the ball. I might buy the ball with this little broad. Let her wipe me off up in the Uber car. I'm a shooting star, but
And now on the music.
it's the right or wrong. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the ball. I might buy the ball with this little broad. Let her wipe me off up in the Uber car. I'm a shooting star, but she too support.
It's giving me a little flavor, a little texture on all the music and the drums.
It's the right or wrong. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the ball. I might buy the ball with this little broad. Let her wipe me off up in the Uber car. I'm a shooting star, but she too support. So
Really helping me get a little vibe, a little bit more separation. And then the bass or the 808.
it's the right or wrong. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the ball. I might buy the ball with this little broad. Let her wipe me off up in the Uber car. I'm a shooting star, but she too support. So I kicked her out.
There are some slight level changes when you add this too. So this is also another reason why I like to put this on first, because now I can adjust my balances and I'm going to mix through these. I'm going to mix through the analog console emulation basically and the compression. I'm mixing through that or into it, however you want to look at it. I look at it as mixing through it, but whatever.
It's the right or wrong. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the ball. I might buy the ball with this little broad. Let her wipe me off up in the Uber car. I'm a shooting star, but she too.
And that was the vocals. So I have all of those things on and I'm mixing through those, right? Okay, gotcha. And then now I'm gonna do some leveling. You feel me? I'm gonna adjust levels how I see fit. I'm gonna just feel it out. I'm rough mixing this. I'm getting everything going. I'm feeling the vibe, right? And then I start so then after I get a nice blend, nice balance that I like, I'm gonna start mixing what I think is the important stuff first. And I actually like to start with effects, you know. So in this case, I'm like, this loop is important. This loop right here. Like, this loop is important. I want a little more flavor, a little more ambience on it, just ever so slightly, just for a feel thing. So I got my reverb right here. So let me go back here to this window. In this case, it's the second reverb, but bring that up. We'll do that. So this is actually this photo verb. I did this. I was just experimenting. I hadn't used this reverb in a long time. I was going through presets. I like this one. I was like, I'm gonna use that. So I put a little lo-fi on the reverb. Subtle stuff, then a little enigma, because this is where I wanted the flavor. I wanted a little movement, just a little vibe on that thing. You feel me? Yeah, then do a little EQ. Before, this is actually right around the time where I got the Pro Q3, but before then, I was rocking the Q10 and the EQ3 7-band on the end of my effects. You feel me? I was using this mostly for a high pass and low pass, and I was using this to, take out the frequencies that I didn't like. So you'll see this often, but now the Pro Q3 has replaced both of these. Yep. And that's just all the frequency content that I wanted from that reverb. And let me get that blend back right. And I had that, that's where I had it at, you feel me? That's where it felt right to me. So now I'm like, I want some flavor on this flute. So I'm like, let me see if I can add the same reverb to this flute. Let me. Just subtly, you know what I'm saying? Same reverb, just blending that on up in there, and now we feeling good. I like what we feeling right now.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These boy niggas can't challenge us. These thigh hoes can't handle us. Bitch made.
Just subtle things. Just give it a little more feel. And then on these shots, I know I wanted just a little bit of reverb on these, so I'll play that. So I got some reverb. Those are the settings for that. I put a little lo-fi on there. I love putting lo-fi on my effects. Oh yeah. Didn't do anything on this. EQ3. Yeah. That's all I wanted. So I put some on here. And some on here. On those shots. And that's it for the music. So now I'm like, I'm feeling good. I'm gonna mute the vocals real quick and just play that from the top of the hook. Play this so y'all can see. Change to the screen so y'all can see. Just giving it to you, just giving a vibe, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm like, let me go to these vocals. So now I'm rocking with the vocal effects. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to solo the vocals. I'm gonna just play the vocals by themselves so you can hear. I'm gonna mute the ad-libs in the background vocals, and we'll go to John's first verse.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm, road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight, Pinky Records, my Sprite, lame niggas dead on some.
So this Valhalla Supermassive is a free plugin, but I like this small dark room. There's some other ones in here, other presets that I like to use as like reflections on the vocal. But that's what I use for that, and then I put this mod delay on it because I wanted more space. I wanted the delay to basically happen later. It was too fast for me, so.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm, road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight.
Yup, and I put a little verb on it, just ever so slightly.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm, road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a.
Now we getting a little bit of a level change right there, so don't be fooled, but that's what I was going for. So then I put some lo-fi on it.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie.
Yep, and then I put some compression on there just to keep that down. You feel me? Keep it put.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan.
And just some EQ.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to.
That's all I wanted from there, you know. And I just blend that in to taste, and then another delay. I wanted this delay. Let me see what we got going on here.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan.
Excusez-moi. But I guess I probably just dialed this in. Yeah, I probably just dialed this in until it felt right. Don't mess with these things a tinad. And dial that in till it felt right to me for this song. So that's what we got. And then a little lo-fi.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pink.
A little bit of EQ. A little slight pan to the right. Let's see what the reverb talking about.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie.
A little haul on that thing. I love this reverb. This is my favorite reverb for vocals. Like, this is my go-to for vocals. Not this specific setting in this reverb unit or plugin, but I like this reverb plugin in general. There's so many different types of reverbs. Like, I love this. This is the first reverb usually that I put on my lead vocals. Is either this or the True Verb. I like the True Verb a lot. So I use both of those a lot, or I'll use them in tandem together. But in this case, I used the plates, the illustrious plates for my second reverb, but we on this one right now. I like this setting. I adjusted these a little bit, and you know, that's what I went with. Put a little lo-fi on that thing.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan.
Then put a little compression, and I actually sidechained this with the lead vocals, because Bravo's vocals gonna be hitting this reverb, and Kxng's vocals gonna be hitting this reverb. If I need to, if this isn't working out, and I need to make separate reverbs or delays for each vocal, I will. But usually it works out. And you know, just a little sidechain compression. You know what I'm saying? You'll hear the effect.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight.
It just helps me so you can still hear the vocal, but you can hear the reverb. It comes up when it needs to, and it's ever so slightly, so subtle. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't a high ratio or anything. I'm not trying to make this thing pump. I'm just trying to get a little more forwardness from the vocal, but I still want that feel and that slight audibility of the reverb. And if I want more audibility of the reverb, I can manipulate this a little differently, and you know, whatever. I could do a lot of things, but that's what we got right there. Then a little EQ.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed.
That's all I wanted from the reverb.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road.
Just wanted it out a little more, and then I put another reverb on it.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a.
I like this huge vocal preset sometimes, and I just adjust stuff in here. And then I got this R compressor on here too. I just wanted to keep this. I did not sidechain this one. I just wanted to use this one as a additional bit of texture on the vocals. So I just, you know, additional bit of texture on the vocals for this reverb. So I wanted this to kind of stay put. I didn't want it to breathe or move too much. Just, yeah, you know, just stay there. Just stay right there.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan.
Yup, and then some lo-fi.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky records, my Sprite. Lame niggas dead on sight. Money y'all in my sight. Couple bitches go die. Bring a
Little EQ. Nothing on here. Oh yeah, cause I was in the midst of switching to the Pro Q3.
bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight.
Yep, and the same thing is on the lead vocals for Blxck. So we're not really gonna, we can go to his verse.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with.
But yeah, that's on there too. And now we gonna go to the ad libs. So we got some delay and some reverb.
Nah.
Right. Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? That's what I got. Put a chord note here, then I moved this up, but I kind of wanted to, you feel me? I wanted to feel, I didn't want it to just be a normal, boring chord note delay, even though that's not necessarily boring. I just wanted a little more movement, you feel me? So I adjusted that a little bit more than I usually would.
Nah.
Excuse me, then I put some lo-fi on that thing, of course.
Nah.
Right. Okay.
Little saturation knob, which I used to, golly, I think I have the hiccups, which I used to be on heavy.
Nah.
Right. Okay.
Something slight. Here we go. Nothing on here.
Nah.
Right. Okay. That's right. But she too subpar, huh?
You feel me? That's what I wanted from the delay. So this reverb.
Nah.
Right. Okay.
A little deverb, you feel me? Classic. Adjusted these things a little bit, maybe. And some lo-fi.
Nah.
Right. Okay. That's right. But
Then a little mod delay, a little slight shows, little, turn the mix down a little bit, little delays within this reverb, ever so slightly.
Nah.
right. Okay. That's right. But she too subpar, huh?
Just gives me a little more space. A little more vibe. And then a little EQ with the Q10.
Nah.
Right. Okay. That's right. But she too subpar, huh?
And we gotta do a little EQ, but I also turn this up a little bit. I got some gain going on there. So I'll bring that back down. That's what I got. And then I put the same reverb and delay on the background vocals. But just so y'all can hear that, let me go to the hook.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thought hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Roll through the hood with a hammer stuff. Sit your ass down, can't stay with us. Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, get mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thought hoes can't handle.
You feel me? Just slightly, I ain't need to do too much. And that's what we got for the effects. I also put a doubler on Kxng's backgrounds for his verse. And I chopped some out, like there was extra words and stuff. I just used what to me felt right was for the song, so I'll just bypass it.
Bad bitch took off, right or off. Buy the bar with this little broad. in the Uber car. She too support, kicked out, mad and pout. Gotta leave and I'm like a cord. Mad and pout, gotta leave and I'm like a cord.
You feel me? You know, yeah, but yeah. So that's, you know, all the effects that I got for the vocal. So now I'm gonna play everything with the effects real quickly. Oh, snap, I'm tripping. I didn't do the drums. So for the drums, I wanted a little bit of, just a little something on the clap and these little clappers, just for a little energy, right? So, you know what, we're gonna do the clappers first, because I think that might be a little more audible. Go about right here. Oh, I'm not in grid mode.
Nah.
And I still have everything muted except those. I don't know if y'all hear that, but the energy just comes up a little bit. So let me bypass this and show y'all what's happening here. I got a little delay on here. It's just a little stereo slap with some E though, with some E. Right, so I just, you know, dialed these in to what felt right. But then this is where the crazy stuff happened. I put this distortion in, so let me turn this down a little bit. It might get loud. And then a little Q10. All right, because that's the frequency that I wanted. So I just want to blend that in. Where am I at? Shit. Just wanted to blend that in a little bit. I didn't know what was gonna happen. Just wanted to blend that in just a touch. You feel me? Just a touch, just to give me that little bit of energy that I wanted for that part of the hook. Because these come in halfway or the last half of the hook, just for a little slight lift. And to get a little bit more lift and feel from these, they're not really meant to be heard too much, just felt. So let me play this. You feel me? It's just a feel thing, and this added a little bit more that I needed within the context of the mix with everything going. And then I did the same thing on the claps, but even more subtle. It's even lower. Feel me? Just a very subtle thing, a very subtle feel thing. I did that, and then I stole this from Alex Toomey. Thank you, Mr. Toomey. But this kind of like bass distortion kind of thing that I put on the 808. Let me go to the 808 and solo that. But yep, well first I got this micro shift on there, so it could be like a stereo effect, and then I got the Sans amp on here for some distortion. And I just got the REQ, you know, for the frequencies that I wanted. And I put that on that thing. And that, for me, that helps me get a little bit more presence out of the 808 without it being in the center. And it also, in headphones, to me, it adds just a little more feel for the 808, a little extra interesting distortion or color or texture to the 808, but it's on the left and right of, you know, of the speaker instead of right down the center, you know. It feels more more stagey also, because when you're watching a performance on the stage, yeah, it feels like the music is coming from more than just the direct situation. To me, in my opinion, if I hear an 808, it doesn't feel like the 808 is just literally this tight thing that's coming right at me in one direction. It kind of feels like the 808 is a little bit around me, or it's embracing me, you know, my whole body's vibrating, you feel me? So for me, this is a subtle thing, and other ways you can kind of get that effect, but we might get into that later. So yeah, I just added that, and I think that is all of the effects. So now, again, like I was saying earlier, rough mixing. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and continue working on the most important things first. So to me, this loop and this flute and the vocals, of course, especially the lead vocal. In this case, I'm not sure if I did the loop or the vocals first, but we're gonna do the vocals first. So I'm gonna again I'm gonna mute the instrumental, and we're gonna focus on, we'll do Bravo's verse.
Nah. Yeah. Yeah. By that. A flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky records, my sprite. Lame niggas dead on sight. Money y'all in my sight. Couple bitches go die. Bring a friend with them. Lie, surprise, surprise. Lay them both on sight. Then they leave alright. Grab a leaf, hold my weed perfectly every time. Too hot to handle, I wax the candle. On that Mandalorian, sliding that black DeLorean. Back to the future still.
Alright, so we've heard that rough vocal, but I recorded it, so it doesn't sound bad, but there are some things that, you know, we need to adjust. We need to adjust and address. So I'm rolling off a little bit of low end.
Bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan.
Roll off a little bit of low end on there. Then I like to sometimes use these kind of preamp situations that the Slate Digital mix rack has in their harm section. I use a 1073 sometimes. Should I use all of these for real sometimes, from the FG73 down to the New York. I've kind of messed with them for a while, so I kind of know what I'm looking for depending on the vocal and the music. Let me mute that.
Bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan.
You get a little bit of level, but some more fullness, you know, just some texture that I like.
Bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan.
And this is another thing. I'm just using this distressor. Remember earlier when I was talking about I don't like compression is for kids? Bruce Woodian, rest in peace. But I'm not using this to compress the vocal. I'm using it for the texture and the saturation and the character that it adds to the vocal. That's really what I'm using compression for, is for character. It's a compressor, but I'm not compressing. Even though this is compressing just a touch. Even though the meters are saying it's not, don't trust the meters. Use your ears. The meters are lying to you. You don't train your eyes, train your ears. It's compressing a little bit, but I'm more so using it for character, for tone, you know, for harmonic distortion, even though this isn't the real deal harmonic distortion, but it's an emulation, and I can get what I'm trying to get out of it. At least what I know that I can get. I don't know. There might be other realms of sound that I haven't discovered yet because I haven't used the actual real distressor, but this is where we at with it right now.
Bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm.
Yup, and then I put a little saturation knob on there. I used to be heavy on the saturation knob. Now I use other stuff, but, you know, whatever.
Bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in.
There's some nice high-end stuff that I really like that's going on there, but it does add some things that I don't like, so I'm going to address that later. But I like some high-end stuff that's happening there. And then again, our compressor, to me, this is a very, some people say this is clean, but I don't know. I hear some differences when I use this. So I'm also just using this for a little bit of character, a little personality on the vocal.
Bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky Records, my Sprite.
It's a little bit of personality, a little bit of clarity. You can see some of the compression happening there. Less than a dB of compression in this case, but this I could sometimes maybe use 3, 4, 5 dB of compression. It just depends. It don't matter. I'm not looking at the meters to see how much compression, like, oh, I don't want to go over 2 dB of compression. Like, no, I'm just feeling it. It's all about the feel and the energy. Feel and energy. That's, if you walk away with anything from this video, feel and energy and taste. Taste is a big one. Taste is probably the hugest one out of all of them. But then a little bit of EQ, you know what I'm saying? Taking out a little bit of that, a little dip right here, a little shelf, a little boost down there. Let's see what that sounds like.
Bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky Records, my Sprite.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now, again, like I was saying earlier, this is my rough mix side. So I just got a nice little rough mix. I got a nice little tone. I'm happy with where this is. So we're going to leave that like that. And let me go to Kxng's vocal. So going over here and to 5. Oh, let me solo his vocal. So we'll go.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off.
So I didn't record this, but it sounds like it was recorded, you know, like in the middle of a room somewhere, but it wasn't recorded terrible or bad or anything like that. It's just there's some room tone, room sound on it. And for me, when I add this audio track and use the gate on it, when vocals are recorded in this setting, it kind of cleans it up a little bit. Now, it doesn't gate out all of the room noise or anything like that, but it kind of gives me a cleaner tone to the vocal. So I'm gonna A-B that so y'all can kind of hear it.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car, cause I'm a shooting star, but she too support. So I kicked her out, now she mad and pout, like I gotta leave and I'm like a cause, now she blowing up my...
Hey, maybe it's just me, but I like what that's doing. And a little high pass.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car, cause...
Then same kind of situation. VMR Slate, VMR Mix Rack, or goddamn virtual mix rack from Slate Digital. Sheesh. And I use this, 1073 emulation.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car, cause I'm a shooting star, but she too support. So I kicked her out, now she mad and pout, like I gotta leave and I'm like a cause, now she blowing up my phone. Got a little shorty about 38.
Yeah, and I'm using different stuff. You feel me? Like, you got to get familiar with your plugins and what they add, what they give you, So you just experiment. Every time I get a new plugin, I go through all the presets and I just play around with it. This stuff is fun to me. I be having a blast. So I'm here just having fun, So this is cool. Just play around with this stuff and see what it's doing to the vocal or the strings or the flute. Pull up an old mix and just put different plugins on it and just fuck around. Have a good time. Go through all the presets and make up your own presets. Like, shit, I got my own up here, Just play around. Have a good time, you feel me? So you know what these give you. You feel me? Like, oh goodness, we are at an advantage today because we got plugins. If you, back in the day, you had to go in the studio and you'd have to pay money or just be lucky enough to have access to a studio in order to hear what a fucking distressor sounded like, in order to hear what a LA2A sounds like. And how much time do you have to put it on an instrument and just fuck around with it? How much time do you even have to put it on a synth and then go to the fucking patch bay and patch it into to the vocal and then see what it sounds like on the vocal? And then how much time does it even take to put the mix up to even start doing that shit? You know what I'm saying? And then take it down. Like, come on, man. Like, there's no excuse, bro. We gotta just fucking play around with this shit. There's no excuse today. This is the best time in the world. Anyway, I'm sorry. gonna stop rambling and ranting as much. I can't make no promises. I might do it again. But anyway, a little soft tube went 0.2 on this, and I got little presets too. On the old soft tube, they used to tell you how much you were, like it would be a number up here, like 0.1, 0.2, all the way to however high it went. But when they updated it, the number went away, which I'm not upset about, but I just like to go through these. Usually I don't go past 0.5, but maybe sometimes I do. But I just like to, do that really quickly. Just, I want to go to 3, I want to go to 5, whatever. But in this case, I use 2.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward, dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car.
Yup. Little arc compression.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward, dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her
Ever so slightly. Little EQ.
Cash.
And one thing to note, obviously this is a totally different voice, but everybody's voice is different. Now, say the curve and the concept looks the same, but the EQ moves are totally different. The concept is the same, right? But the moves are different. Close there. 378, 243 here. The shelf, a dB at 911, a dB at 707. You know what I'm saying? Then there's this little dip right here, no dip right there. You feel me? Like, you just gotta use your ears. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't worry. Like, if you gotta do some crazy shit, you gotta do some crazy shit. Use your ears.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward, dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the...
Oh, yeah. And now we going to the ad-libs, you feel me? So, let me go to, we'll stay at Blxck's verse.
Nah.
Right. Okay.
Maybe I'll play his verse with the ad-libs. That might be a little more, make a little more sense.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. Right. I'm awkward, dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off.
You feel me? I just use this to help me put it back a little bit. We get a little bit of decrease in gain here, but just slight little reverb on the ad-libs, and then did a little high pass. Maybe I wanted to do some low pass, but I didn't like it, so I took that off.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. Right. I'm awkward, dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car, cause I'm a shooting star, but she too support. So I kicked her out.
A little arc compression.
Cash shit.
Or arc compressor.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. Right. I'm awkward, dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car, cause I'm a shooting star.
Like, again, I've drawn in my compression with clip gain, so I don't have to compress the shit out of this. I can just ever so slightly use it for character and tone, personality.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. Right. I'm awkward, dog, I'm trying to buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me.
Slight work, light work. Now let me hit these background vocals and let me go to the hook. Let me go 1, 2. Make sure we there.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thought hoes can't.
Same thing, a little verb on these.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thought hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us.
A little extra space, the wetness is down pretty decent amount. Mess with the high pass and low pass, little modulation, yada 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 yada. Just a little extra reflections, a little extra space on those things that I like.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thought hoes can't handle. Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thought hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Rolling through the hood with a hammer stuck. Sit your ass down, can't stand with us. Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, really get mounted up.
Slight work. As you can see, I don't really do too much crazy stuff with the EQ. You don't have to go crazy, especially if you record it well, you know? If it's recorded poorly, I mean, it kind of just is what it is. It kind of sucks, but record it well, you don't have to do nothing too crazy. Let me just do that because I feel like it might be contributing to sound. But yeah, so now I got my vocals rough mixed within the beat. I'm gonna just play that from, you know, let's say Bravo's verse.
Nah, bad bitch, my arm. The world, my.
Let me play the beat.
Bad bitch, my arm. The world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky records, my Sprite. Lame niggas dead on sight. Money, y'all in my.
Right, so we got a nice little tone going in the vocal. And again, I do this in mono. I'm mixing most of the time in mono. Let me make sure I'm not skipping anything. Rough mix, most important thing. Okay, yeah, we right on track. So next I go and I'm like, okay, this loop is very important. So let me go to this loop. So let me So that's kind of a lot, especially if you listening to the low end of this. All of that low end was hella unnecessary, and it was clashing with the 808, clashing with the low end of things in the record, clashing with the low end area of the vocals. So I needed to get rid of all of that, and I needed to make the things that pop out. So that's what we got on this EQ, and kind of my philosophy, I guess, or my I don't know, just my mindset when mixing. I think if I have to do a whole lot to make a sound good, something is kind of messed up with the sound. In this case, this is close to having to, no, this ain't really close to having to do it. This is okay. This is regular kind of. It's a lot of little points, but you know, it's whatever. It's a loop with a lot of stuff going on in the loop. But if I have to put like 5 EQs on here to make this sound good, maybe something's wrong with the sound. And if I have to do that, that's okay. I have to do that. But I like to put all my EQs right here at the bottom, and I'm doing all of this while I'm rough mixing. That's why it's right here. I like to put them right here, so when I go back and start doing a little bit more detailed stuff, if I need to put another EQ on, I just put on 1 instead of 5 more. You know what I'm saying? Like I just put on 1 more EQ. I mean, I'll show y'all what this is doing for now. Just, you know, just little stuff real quick on there. But if I can go back and adjust this EQ, which I'm sure I did, adjusted some things on here, then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna adjust these cue points that I made. I'm probably not gonna make too many more ones unless I really need to. But yeah, you feel me? I feel like less is more. A lot of times when we mix and we have so many things that we could do, and that could be a detriment to the actual song. We could try to process stuff too much where we over process it. So I try to put these kind of like things within my mix, like situations like this, so I don't go crazy by mistake. If I go crazy, if I need to do something crazy, I'm doing it on purpose. I know that I'm doing this. You feel me? So I'm just 1 more EQ or 1 more thing underneath the EQ if I need to. So I do that on the loop, and then I go to the flute. So I just wanted that breathiness of the flute to pop out. This is how much was this on here? 5.5 dB, you know what I'm saying? That's the one that to come out. And I wanted that energy of the flute to come out up there within the context of the mix, because I'm doing all this again in context. But I wanted that to pop out a little bit more. All of this stuff down here, I felt like I didn't need that. I felt like I had the loop contributing a lot of information in this whole area. And I wanted the flute to kind of live more up here. So I did that. And then I just probably quickly ran through these shots and these effects because, you know, they're not that big of a deal. You know, they're a big deal, don't get me wrong, but I don't need to really go in and like go crazy on these. So I just boosted a little bit on that one as I play these. Just a little bit on that so that I can kind of cut through and hit a little better. Rolled off a little bit of low and top right here and boost it right there. And then on that little swoosh, high pass and low pass on this reverse. Took a little bit of low end off of it. And then on the horse, a little bit of shelf, a little low shelf, a little high pass.
Big worm.
Yep. And then on a snake. Just wanted that high stuff on the rooster. Yep, nothing on the second horse. And then I have all of them. I don't know. I think just when I was making the beat, I just wanted to do that for some reason. Maybe I want to, I don't fucking know. But that's what I did. And I just kept it and then I just, you know, high passed it. And then I did a little EQ. I put all of these animal noises to a bus. Did the EQ on all of them. So I was solo all of these. Add that too. Yup. So that's what we got for the music. So I went through the music real quick, probably just roughly getting a nice little balance, nice tones, bringing out things that I want to bring out, just real quick. Again, I'm not taking myself too seriously just yet. I'm just getting the vibe and the feel going. So let's go to the drums. So I'm probably gonna start with the clap and these right here together. Let me see where I want to do this at. We'll go to the hook.
Big blue face, I can't.
So I'm hearing that, I'm like, oh yeah, these are working together, so I'm gonna make a bus and put those together. But then I'm like, okay, I want this clap to contribute more to the low end. This one right here, I'm gonna play this right quick. I want that one to contribute more to the low end. I want this snap to more mid, high mid. So just subtly. I mean, it isn't really that much in there anyway, but I just want to make sure nothing down there is there or needed. But for this clap, I want all of that stuff down there. I want it to be, you know, as heavy as it is right now. And then I likely put this EQ on. I likely adjusted this a little bit later. I probably just did this high pass, low pass, and boosted a little bit right here. Probably did these little dips later.
Big blue face, I counted up. Big blue face.
So that really pops it out of the mix, really makes it snap like how I want it to. Within context of everything, right? Within context of everything. So then let me go to this sound right here. Just rolled a little bit of low end off of that. I'm gonna stay on this screen since I'm going to all these little individual sounds. Just wanted to clean that up a little bit. Want to make sure it's set behind these main claps. A little slight low end roll off. Hey, that's what I did on the hi-hat. All right, these clappers. So I want to make sure those were felt and heard as, you know, as much as they needed to be, just ever so slightly. I didn't do anything on this open hat or this other open hat on this little shaker. So I wanted to bring that out just a touch, but that's really something that you feel. I just wanted to make sure you could feel it a little bit in the mix. It felt a little dark there compared to how the whole kit was working together. And so still rough mixing mode. This is all the stuff that I've done. Oh, for the cymbal, bring that up. Little high pass and slight low pass on the top. That's really all. Nothing crazy. So now I'm going to the kick in the 808. So first I'm gonna go to the kick. So in my mind, when I hear this kick within the context of the mix, I know, okay, I'm gonna parallel compress this. So let me not do anything yet. Let me just get the level right and move on, because I know I'm gonna parallel compress it, and then I'm gonna want to EQ this differently on the kick sum. So all I do is I make these parallel chains or whatever. I name them what I think that I want to do on them. Top click, mid knock, low thump, whatever. And then I move on to the 808. So let me go here. So I'm doing that. I'm thinking the same thing for the 808, right? So let me switch back to this other window. So I'm thinking the same thing for the 808. That's why there's no plugins down here. Maybe on this, did I do something on the kick? No, I feel like I did that later, honestly, for real. I would not have parallel compressed into that, but I did this EQ later once I realized, like, maybe I don't need to use a parallel compression for this 808. Maybe it's okay. I just need to, you know, EQ it a little bit. I did that. And then, so now we got this bass guitar. Let's see what we got going on here. Totally changes. You feel me? That was not poking out in the mix enough to me. So this is what I did with the EQ, just to get it to poke out a little bit more to me in my ear and live where it needed to live, right? So that's, let me make sure. I believe that's all the rough mixing moves that I would have done. Like, okay, yeah, we just slight EQ stuff, you know? Slight EQ stuff. If I need to use some compression or something for tone, like, then I'm gonna do that too. But slight EQ stuff in this case, and the effects. So now we out of the rough mixing stage. I got levels feeling solid, even though I'm gonna go back and probably adjust some things. I got everything feeling good. I got my tones. I got the vibe going. Ooh, now I'm gonna do some beat arrangement stuff. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna figure out where the energy is, where the drops need to be at, and you know, I'm gonna do little stuff like this. So
right, grab a leaf, hold my weed perfectly every time. I got that weed too hot to handle. I wax the candle.
You feel me? Like little stuff like that, little chops, little. You feel me? Like, let me get this vibe going. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's really feel this. Let's create these drops. Let's make some arrangement changes, you know, stuff like this.
Till they give me my spot. This ass shack flow like hard as a rock. Groovy ass nigga, bitch, I got a whole lot. 80 bottles in my session, K. Cut the conversation, girl, my conscience on tilt. Still broke, pill drugs, got them on still. Fuck, rolling up an eighth, packing up.
You know, things like that. Subtle stuff, even just this little this little verify move in the, you know, slight, just slight stuff like that, stuff like this. You know, just slight stuff. You feel me? Like, let's just get this vibe going. Let's make this shit. Let's make it that thing. Just little stuff like that that you may not even really hear or notice fully, but you feel it. You know what I'm saying? It contributes to the vibe and the ebb and flow of the record. You want that. You want when someone hears this to continue nodding their head and vibing and bobbing the whole time. A lot of that energy is just naturally built into the production of the beat, but there are certain things once you bring the vocals in that maybe you can alter just a little bit to bring more energy out. You feel me? So I do that, all kind of stuff, and I do that again later too if I need to, but at this point I'm rough mixing. I'm feeling a vibe. I'm just going through this shit real quick, just getting the vibe going. And real quick is like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So real quick, I don't know how that's a relative word, but a relative phrase or term, but I'm not thinking is what I'm trying to say. I'm not being super technical. I'm more so just feeling this shit out. Like what's the vibe, you know? And so then I'll make some delay throws. I print these. I'm gonna solo these so you can hear them, but I print them because sometimes I just go crazy, but I make these for each song. Sometimes I go crazy and have like this whole thing filled up, and that shit can take a lot of DSP or a lot of CPU and stuff, so I just print them, but I'll play these. Let me unmute the throw. That's like on the ad lib of, let me actually, these are just for vocals right here, so let me just mute the instrumental, and let me just play the vocals.
It's your flight, baddie in bed tonight, Pinky Records, my Sprite, lame niggas dead on something.
It's just on the on that ad lib.
Every time I got that weed, too hot to handle.
This is the delay on I Got That Weed. I'll play that one more time.
Every time I got that weed, too hot to handle.
And then this one.
Pill drugs got them on.
Oh no. See? If this was all lit up like how it's probably not that much going on. These are pretty basic delays, but yeah, that would have been happening all fucking program.
Pill drugs got them on stilts. Fuck. Rolling up an eighth, crack another fifth. Little bro about to take a trip.
Got that going right there. Just little delay throws. You feel me? I usually go crazy with these. I usually have like 8 to 10. In this case, I only have 2, and I didn't use these other 2 in the middle, so I have those inactive. But I usually have like 8 to 10 of these, just turning up, going ham. But this record didn't need that. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. You don't gotta overproduce and go crazy on these records and make them bad. If the energy is there, the energy is there. My job is to just enhance and translate and communicate that energy appropriately. You feel me? Now, if I gotta go super crazy, I'm going crazy. I'm gonna do what it takes to make this thing sound as best as I can help this to sound. But if it already sound good, why would I go fuck it up by doing all this crazy shit? I'm not gonna do that. And then I like to put a little RC20 on these throws, and that's routed to my vocal effects up here, which it kind of just gives me a little bit of extra texture on the whole entire mix, but for my effects, you know what I'm saying? Like a little extra vibe, a little extra texture on my effects, and I tend to like that. It gives me more audible reverb sometimes, or I don't know, somebody, I just love it. I just love putting that on there with the noise, you know what I'm saying? Like putting a little noise on that thing, a little bit of noise and wobble, a little magnetic. Sometimes I bring the distortion in. Sometimes I bring the digital in. I don't usually bring the space in, but you know, I experiment with all that stuff and I just have a blast. So now, I think we're fully rough mixed, right? Now I might take another break and listen to some more music that I love for like 10 minutes or something. But if I'm feeling a vibe and I'm feeling good, I'm gonna just keep going. So what we gonna do right now? We gonna keep going. Now I'm gonna get a little more detailed. I'm gonna get a little more intricate. So I'm gonna go back to Bravo's lead vocal, and I'm gonna let me go. Mama said, Mama son, Makusa.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky Records, my Sprite late.
So I'm not adding any parallel compression in this case. I just want a little more texture, a little more character from the vocal. So I just add a little lo-fi on that thing in this case. As you can see, I love the lo-fi, man. Like if you use Pro Tools, like you're not using lo-fi, hey, to each their own. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. But I'm gonna fuck with the lo-fi. So I put that on there. But I have this preset double EQs with trim, and this is what it is. The EQ moves are not there. Everything's zeroed out, but these two EQs come up. But I like using this EQ sometimes also on vocals. I like using this one more so on certain instruments when I want to boost. Depends, but I generally use this for vocals. I might swap one out for one of these sometimes. Very rarely I swap one out for one of these, but I have in the past. So I like doing my boosting with this. If I need to, I'll move these other plugins down and I put another EQ here if I need to, but usually, we get it sounding pretty straight. So I'll A/B this, and then I'll kind of show you the frequencies, even though the frequencies don't matter. What matters is that you use your ears, but I'll show it to you because I'm sure people just wanna know.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky Records, my Sprite late.
That totally changes the vocal. Just for even more example purposes, I'm gonna play all the music so y'all can hear that all together.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a fly.
I'm also gonna mute the ad-libs and the background vocals for now. All right, here we go. About to A/B it.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky Records, my Sprite, lame niggas dead on sight. Money y'all in my sight, couple bitches go die. Bring a friend with.
I mean, that just brings that vocal up to attention. It gives it the energy, the character, the vibe, everything that I need from it. For right now, almost everything I need from it. Just puts it right there where I need it to be. You feel me? Like I'm good. I got my shit. Oh snap! I got my stuff together. So at 16K, doing about a dB boost right there. 2K, 1.5ish, 640, 1.6ish, 85, 86 hertz, 3 dB, a little boost right there on the lows, and then at 8.5. 1.7 dB. I did not do anything on those, and that's all I need, just straight boost. I do use this to cut though sometimes if I need to, but to me in this case I just needed some boosts, so that's all I did. And then I come in with the multi-band compressor from McDSP. I like this. I have a little preset that zeroes everything out and kind of puts the attack and release where I like it to be, and I adjust from there. Puts these bands where I like them to be, yada yada yada, right? So I'm gonna A/B this.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky Records, my Sprite, lame niggas dead on sight. Money y'all in my.
Just give me the tonal control that I need from the vocal. You feel me? That's really all I'm using it for. Any frequencies that are popping out, I kind of like for the vocal to be relatively consistent as far as frequency representation. So I use that to kind of help me get that a little bit. Sometimes I do like a little bit of frequency inconsistency if it feels musical and sounds good. But in this case, I wanted that's how I wanted it to sound, and I was able to get it there. And then this F6, I use this to kind of take out like annoying frequencies in the vocal, but also as my subtractive EQ. You know, to me, I find when I just do little notches of on vocals, if I just do little notches of subtractive dynamic EQ, it'll really clean everything up like really quickly, you know? So that's what I use this for. But if I do need to bring another EQ in before both of these to do some subtractive EQ or some additive EQ, I will. In this case, I didn't feel like I needed to, so this is what we got.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight. Pinky records, my sprite. Lame niggas dead on sight. Money, y'all in my sight.
That's what we got. So, you know, I just play with, I get my attack and release. I just dial it in my threshold, my range, all that kind of stuff. And I literally only use it for the dynamic subtractive EQ. I don't really adjust no gain or nothing like that. I mess literally with all of these except for the gain, and it's subtractive stuff. So, you know, this is what we got going on 5. I did not use 6, 5, 4. That's what we got going on there. So we had 9.2K right there. We had 1K right there, 280 right there, 236 right there. Yeah. And then I probably do this Pro Q3 first.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm.
Dadgummit. But yeah, just a little high pass, a little low pass, just cleaning it up with the last plugin. I like to put this at the end of my vocals just in case any of these plugins are adding any extra noise or anything that I have done has added anything extra that I don't want. I like to end it off with a little high pass and maybe a low pass if it sounds good. Then a little limiting. In this case, I'm not using it as much as a limiter, which is the common case for me. I'm more so using it as this presence that it adds to the vocal and this openness, oddly, that it sometimes adds to the vocal.
Bad bitch, my arm, the world, my palm. Road running, coast to coast, Gouda Parmesan. I catch a flight, baddie in bed tonight.
Maybe you hear that, maybe you don't, but I do. So let me go to Kxng's lead, and then same kind of situation for real. A little lo-fi, a little extra character and texture.
Cash shit to a bed.
Come on, man, come on. It's getting hot in here too.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward dog, I'm tryna buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car, cause I'm a shooting star, but she...
Yeah. And let's see with this VMR. Same situation.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward dog, I'm tryna buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car, cause I'm a shooting star, but she too support. So I
really bringing it out, putting it right there. And I didn't mention this earlier, but I have this trim here just in case I need to increase and decrease the volume of the vocal. That's really it. Sometimes when you make these EQ moves, the vocal just maybe seems too low or seems too loud. I'll adjust for that there. Then again with the multi-band compression.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward dog, I'm tryna buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off.
Hey, you already know what's going on.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward dog, I'm tryna buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car, cause I'm a shooting star, but she...
And I know there are other dynamic EQs, there are other multi-band compressors that you can use to notch out, but I don't know, man. This is what I used for a long time, and I just keep using it. So, yeah. And notice how this is a little different. More high end rolled off, more low end rolled off. Hey, you gotta do what sounds right.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before my flight took off, just to write her off. I'm awkward dog, I'm tryna buy the bar. I might buy the bar with this little broad and let her wipe me off up in the Uber car, cause I'm a shooting star, but she too support. So I kicked her out. Now she...
Excuse me. And I guess I wanted a little shelf. Maybe I felt like it was just too much low end for them to match and feel like they're coming from the same, room or on the same stage. So maybe I wanted a little bit of that, but I was like, nah, it's okay. And then a little limiting, same concept though.
Cash shit to a bad bitch before.
Come on, man, come on. Goodness gracious. We was doing so well. Let me close this. Let you calm down for a second. All right, here we go.
Cash shit.
Bro, what the fuck? Okay.
Cash shit to a.
Bro, what the fuck is going on?
These thigh hoes can't handle us.
What up,
Bitch
Bravo?
made niggas can't manage us. Roll through the hood with a hammer tuck.
Alright.
Sit your ass down, can't stand with us.
Cash.
Okay, so this shit is glitching the fuck out right now. Acting like a little bitch. Let me see if I go here.
Kicked out, now she mad and pout. Like I gotta leave and I'm like a cause. Now she blowing up my phone. Got a little shorty about 38 hot. I ride down 38 for 38 drops. Bring any jump up at the 38 pop. I'm out of your league, little hoe, better act like you know that the flow is on top. Dog, I'm a bar till they give me my spot.
You feel me? You feel me, you feel me, you feel me. And then ad-libs. Same stuff, you know. The concepts are there, you know. It's just the same concepts. I think I'm gonna go, we'll go here to the hook. We'll solo these. We'll bring these effects back.
Mount it. Roll it. Nah. 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 Aye? Nah. Mount it. Roll it.
You know, a little decapitated, just a little distortion on there. 0.1 dB at 15K. 0.8 dB at 5.6K. Nothing there, nothing there. Yeah, you feel me? Yeah. And then a little multi-band compression.
Mount it. Roll it.
This ever so slightly did not use the limiting on the background vocals or the ad-libs.
Mount it. Roll it.
You seeing what's going on here? Did not use any kind of distortion or saturation on the background vocals here. Had the lo-fi, but guess I didn't want it.
But niggas can't challenge us. These thigh hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Roll through the hood with a hammer tuck. Sit your ass down, can't stand with us. Big blue face.
Got some multi-band compression.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thigh hoes can't handle us.
Right? And then also on this multi-band compressor, I boosted it 2 dB because initially I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I want these background vocals to, yeah, be heard and felt, but I'm probably just gonna put them behind the lead vocal. You know what I'm saying? But then I realized, like, oh no, these background vocals are contributing to the energy of the hook. Like these need to be more up front, more kind of loud, more present. So I just boosted them up here. I just boosted them 2 dB. And on this EQ, it looks like I had some frequency that I was taking out initially, but then when I realized, like, no, these need to be more full, these need to be more up front, I just turned that off, and I did not do any subtractive EQ there. But I just boosted right here, and it was at 5.8 or 6.8, whatever that is, nothing there, just a little boost right there, and I was like, yeah, that's good. We're gonna boost that up there, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna turn it up 2 dB, and then we're gonna high pass and low pass.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us.
That's all I needed / wanted from those vocals. And that's the vocals right there. Now, another thing, I guess. I keep saying one thing to note, but I'm always juggling from sound to sound. Like I'm going all over the place. If I need to go back to this EQ and adjust stuff, then I will. I do. Pretty much on every mix, I go back and I adjust stuff. I'll go back and adjust this high pass filter. I'll go back and adjust how much saturation I'm using here. I'll go back and adjust the compression. I'll go back and adjust all of this stuff to get it to sit right. Instead of adding another compressor, another EQ, or another whatever, I'll just go back to these and make some adjustments there, or I'll make some adjustments here. I don't really like, the only thing that I would do if I need to is add another EQ right here to really hone in and get the sound right, or get the vocal right. But I don't really like to go in, I don't really like to add another EQ after that, another EQ, another one. Like, let me just tighten up this EQ that I already have here. You feel me? Unless the sound is just terrible and I have to do that to get it to work. You feel me? But typically the sound isn't terrible. And if the sound is terrible, we just gonna embrace that sound and we gonna make that sound as terribly good as possible. You feel me? You feel me? And then on the tag, I don't really feel like this is that important because this is specific to this particular tag, but this tag has some reverb on it and some like ambience on it that ain't really all that great. So I just make it mono, and then I put a gate on it, and then I just EQ it however it needs to be EQ'd for the song. And then I put the same effects that are on the lead vocal, I just put that on there, and if I need to add a delay throw or something interesting to the effect, then I'll do that. Or if I don't need any of this, I'll just not have that on there. But yeah, I put a little bit of reverb, ever so slightly, on the delay throws. Same reverb from the lead vocals. Sometimes I put a little reverb on the delays. In this song I did not. And the same thing for the background vocals. Sometimes I put reverb send on the delays, but in this song I didn't. And so now we sitting nice. I got everything cool. So now I'm like, what do I want to go to next? Actually, let me go to this clap, because I want to get the top frequency information sounding good, and I want to go down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go to the clap, and let me see if I can. Let me see if I can really get that to snap and feel the way I want it to feel in the mix. So I'm gonna go to the first hook. Let's go 1, 2.
Big blue face, I counted up.
So I'm gonna add a little air distortion. This comes with Pro Tools. I use this plugin quite often.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, really, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thigh hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Rolling through the hood with a hammer tuck. Sit your ass down, can't stand with us.
It just makes it a little more gritty, a little more dirty. You know what I'm saying? That's just all I needed from this. I just needed a little bit of that. And then I'm sure I came down to this EQ that I had already here, and I probably just made some little dips, maybe adjusted all of this a little bit more. And then I'm like, okay, let me see if I can do a little more with this hi-hat.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, really, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thigh hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Rolling through the
A little distortion goes a long way on this thing. You feel me? That just really brings that hi-hat out, lets it pop through the way that I need it to. Hey, we in the game. So now I'm going back to the music. In this case, I probably start with the loop. I'm like, I want a little more personality, a little more texture, a little more little feeling on this flute. I want this flute to be a vibe. So I'm like, let me see what this radiator talking about on that thing.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, really, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thigh hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Rolling through the hood with a hammer tuck. Sit your ass down, case.
Gave me exactly what I needed, exactly what I was looking for. Like, just so much character, so much feel in that. I just like, yeah, this is it right here. And now I'm like, okay, I need to fine tune this flute just a little bit so that it sits in the mix where I need it to. So I just slight little EQ, and I'm sure I probably came to this EQ also and made some adjustments on here. But I was like, let me just put one more, just some slight little fine tuning.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, really, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These thigh hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Rollin' through the hood with a hammer tuck. Sit your ass down, can't stand with us. Big blue face.
I don't know if y'all hear that, but as soon as I unbypass this EQ, it literally just pops out, and you can see that it's the person is right there playing it on stage, not all cluttered in and in the way of everything else. I'm just right here doing what I do. You feel me? Playing this flute. You feel me? Right in the spot that I need to play it in. You know what I'm saying? That's just subtle stuff like that. Just gives you what you need. But you got to use your ears, though. Just use your ears. So then for the loop, I'm like, okay, I still probably think there's a little bit too much happening in the low end of the loop, so I need to dip that. I'm sure I come back to this EQ and make some adjustments. And even though, yeah, this is rolled off right here, and it's, you know, a large dip, but I'm still hearing some low end stuff that's clashing with the 808. So I want to get a little bit of that out. I don't trust the meters. I don't trust this EQ curve. It could be doing whatever it's doing, but if I'm hearing some stuff going on down here, some stuff's going on down here. So I'm going to just dip out a little bit, a little shelf, and then I wanted a little more right here. I thought I wanted another little shelf right here, but I guess I didn't. So I'll A-B this.
Big blue face, I counted up.
And listen to the loop, and try to listen to the loop and what happens with the 808 and the vocal when I A-B in this.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fun niggas can't challenge us. These foul hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Rollin' through the hood with a hammer tuck.
Damn, what a tragedy. But when I first unbypassed that, to me, it sounded like the 808 just jumped forward. It just came out and was prominent. And the vocals was like right there on the 808, and it was like, oh yeah, you know, we jamming now. But but this kind of got a little more present because of these moves.
Big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up. These fun niggas can't challenge us. These foul hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us. Rollin' through the hood with.
Okay, now we go into this kick. You feel me? So now okay. Let me move this bike. So now we're on the kick, and I'm like, okay, let me add these energies to the kick that I'm hearing, because I really want this to pop through in context of the mix. So I'm gonna mute the lead vocals in this example. Very subtle differences, maybe pretty significant differences to me, but very important things to make that kick really come through and punch. But also when you listening to it in a car or with a system, that shit thump, it hit, and it works with the 808. You feel me? So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna show y'all what these sound like individually. Let me how do I want to do this? We'll do that, and we'll mute these. And let me mute everything else. Let me mute the bass, the music. And so on this, some Sans app, I just mess with that till it sounds like how I want it to sound. Actually, I'll just do this. So we hit it with that. Some compression. some EQ to just get the frequency that I want to add back. And that's it. Real quick stuff like that. And then the knock, let me do this. I know the clapper effect is playing, so let me just do that. In the frequency area that we want. Hey, that's what we like. That's what we want right there. That's what we want. And now let's see what we got for the low thump. Air enhancer. Underutilized. I'm actually not the biggest fan of the H compressor, not gonna lie, but I do enjoy using it in parallel because of this punch knob. You could really create some cool stuff with that, you know what I'm saying? I kind of rock with this plugin in parallel. Goodness gracious. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. CPU tripping. Right? That's all we want. So now we add that back. And that's what we got within the context of the song. So I'm gonna AB, I'm gonna take the parallel compression out and I'm gonna bring it back in and we'll see what that sounds like. Then I'm gonna show y'all what this EQ is doing. With that parallel compression off, yeah, there's a little bit of a volume change, but that kick just takes a back seat to the 808 too much. Like, I want them to work together, and maybe I want the kick to punch just a tad bit harder, you know. But I definitely not, in this case, in this song, I'm not trying to have the kick take a super back seat to the 808. So that worked out for me. And then for the EQ, I mean, I don't think I even need to AB that again. That did what it did. You feel me? It popped it through. You feel me? And don't be afraid to do some nice little cuts on your kick or even your 808. Sometimes it'll make it more clear. You feel me? And don't even be afraid to take a little bit off the kick. On these types of songs, you don't do that on the 808, but on the kick, it might help you get a little bit more separation for the 808 and let that 808 have all of that stuff down there, you know. But so I didn't use any parallel compression here. I just came in with this Pro Q3. So we'll A-B that. It's getting out of hand. Come on. But you saw it got a little cleaner. The low end got a little more defined. There was a little slight more audibility up here. Yeah, but these are the moves I made. It's a slight little shelf up there, some little roll off on the top. And then on this bass guitar, I'm gonna go to the beginning of the verse. I just wanted that to pop out a little bit more, but give it just a little bit more texture too. A little more texture and character for that separation. And then I'm sure I went back to this EQ and made some adjustments. What else we got? What else we got? So that's looking like it might be all the music. You feel me? So when we get really fine-tuned in detail, all I'm really doing is, as you can see, I added some saturation, some distortion on some things, and I'm going through it. I'm fine-tuning these EQ moves that I already made on my rough mix. And I'm still adjusting balances. I'm still going from sound to sound, going all over the place, just sound juggling like an MFer. I'm even adjusting my effects also. Everything, you know. I'm gonna insert this in somewhere, but I didn't talk about panning. And panning is relatively important. You know, it's about as important as your volume fader, damn, you know what I'm saying, damn near. So I made the beat, so I had things panned already a certain way, but obviously you see I panned the flute a little more to the left. I kept these the same, didn't change these. A little bit to the right on the snap, a little bit to the right on the snare, a little bit to the right on this rim, a little bit more to the left on the hi-hat, a little bit more to the left on the hi-hat roll, a little bit to the right on the shaker. You feel me? Stuff like that. And also, let me go to these ad-libs. You feel me? You have fun, you know what I'm saying? You create movement with the ad-libs. You know what I'm saying? Like the vocalist is on the center of the stage, and then the extra person who is either a hype man or who is a replica, a clone of the lead artist is behind the artist, you know, going all around the stage, yelling ad-libs, turning up, you know what I'm saying? And it feels better in headphones when stuff is moving around, you know what I'm saying, stuff like this, to me sometimes. So I play with the panning on the ad-libs. You know, I just automate that, right? On certain ones, however see fit. And I did the same thing for Kxng's ad-libs and so forth. But yeah, panning, something that I do while I'm rough mixing, while I'm getting my levels, and I'm always going back and fine-tuning it. And then once I get that done, I come to this vocal. In this case, we got two vocals. So when I got multiple artists on a song, I like to use the C4 to kind of help balance their tones out for when they transition from one artist to another. So that's all I got on here, just a little C4 working. I guess I should, play the vocals.
Money on the floor, she crawling in. Big baby brother stay ballin'. Damn, big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face, rollie, I mounted up.
But yeah, that's literally all I have on the lead vocals. You know, sometimes I put an EQ on here, you know, if I need to make all of the vocals brighter or whatever the case may be. On the background vocals, just a little micro shift. You know, these are the settings, just a little extra space, a little extra depth on those things. On the effects, I like to just spread those out a little bit with the S1 imager, just slightly. Creates more of a defined center for the lead, and the stuff in the center just kind of gives me a little bit of width, a little bit of push on the sides. And then on the vocals, I always like to just do a little high pass, a little low pass, just clean that thing up a little bit. I really want that vocal to really stand out. You know what I'm saying? So I clean up a little bit of that stuff down there on the vocals.
Yeah, money on the floor, she crawling in. Big baby brother stay ballin'. Damn, big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up.
That just cleans everything up. Sometimes I might even do the same thing on the perks. I might put a little high pass, low pass on the perks. I might put the same thing on the music sometimes. Just depends. In this case, I did not. On the drum effects, again on the imager, these numbers are the same for some reason, but usually they're different. But it's again by ear. So I just spread those out a little bit. On the music effects, same thing. Spread those out a little bit. And then I'm sure I went to here, and then I did a little bit of, I may not have done any limiting. This may be another thing where just, to me, this gives me the whole mix gives a little more presence, a little more life, a little more height. So I add this sometimes.
Yeah, money on the floor, she crawling in. Big baby brother stay ballin'. Damn, big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face running, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us.
And we are grabbing a few little peaks, a few little extraneous things that go a little AWOL. So then after that, I'm like, I think I want to kind of control the whole instrumental a little bit band-wise. So this is the first one I used. I was probably going to try a different multi-band compressor. I was thinking about trying the Isotope 1 or something like that, but I was like, I just got this MIG DSP stuff not too long ago. Let me see what this sounds like on the whole beat. I put it on, and I found something that I kind of liked. So I was like, I'm gonna just rock with this.
Yeah, money on the floor, she crawling in. Big baby brother stay ballin'. Damn, big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face running, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us.
To me, it allows the beat to still be lively and dynamic and have the feel that I want, but it allows that vocal, especially the low mid range or the mid range of the vocal, to really just be out in the front and present. You know what I'm saying? It lets the music encompass the vocal. And very subtle stuff, like you may not even see many of these meters move, but you can hear it. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust the meters. Don't worry about the meters. The meters are not important. These meters are not perfect. Your ears may not be perfect either, but it's a better, I don't know, I feel like they better than the meters.
Yeah, money on the floor, she crawling in. Big baby brother stay ballin'. Damn, big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face running, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These foul hoes can't handle us. Bitch, man.
Literally nothing's happening on the meters, but there's some compression happening, right? So now we pretty much home. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much home. I don't know why that's like that, but anyway. Make sure I'm still probably going through rebalancing things, sound juggling, making sure everything is tight and feeling the way that I need to feel. And now my last final few things, I just add a little bit of width with the Isotone Ozone 7. I like to use the imager. I'm gonna try to pull both of these up, but hopefully the CPU doesn't go crazy. But on the Isotope imager and Ozone 7 and many other ozone, isotope, whatever. Goddamn, I'm tired of saying that word. But they have a band imager. Like you can image different bands. You could spread out different bands and stuff, right? Is this going to even come up? Okay, here we go. You can spread out different bands. So I dial my bands in and I just spread them out. Now, I went crazy. This is outrageous. I usually don't go past one, but I went past one on the music too. But I went Super Saiyan ham on this. This is kind of dangerous, but it worked out. But I just wanted to spread the drums out a little bit. This is how I get some width on my mix. If I want that, I do it on the perks and on the music, or I'll do it on music 1 or music 2, depending on what I have, what the mix is calling for. I don't like to do any imaging on the whole mix bus because I don't like spreading the kick or the clap out. I want those things to be in the center. I don't like spreading the vocal out. I want the vocal to be in the center. So I do it this way because it makes sense to me. I just spread out the music and the perks. But the kick and the 808, that's going to be in the center. The vocals going to be in the center. If I want to spread some vocals out, I will, spread those vocals out on the background vocals, or I go just to B vocal bus, excuse me, or I'll just go to the background vocals and I'll spread those out. You feel me? So that's how I do it. I'll A/B this, and then I'll A/B the music, and then we pretty much we there. We in the end zone.
Yeah, money on the floor, she crawling in. Big baby brother stay ballin'. Damn, big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face money, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These foul hoes can't handle us. Bitch made niggas can't manage us.
Man, it's struggling. This is something, you know, I'm just saying, try out for yourself, because this CPU situation is out of control right now. I need to get it together. I'm going to pull up the one on the music just so y'all can see it, but I'm probably not going to A/B it like that, because look at what's happening. So I'm going to edit this. Oh, here we go. I'm going to edit this out so this just pops up as soon as I click it. All right, yeah. So these are the settings. We'll try to A/B it real quick.
Yeah, money on the floor, she crawling in. Big baby brother stay ballin'. Damn, big blue face, I counted up. She want new tits, get mounted up. Big face money, I mounted up. These fuck niggas can't challenge us. These foul hoes can't handle us. Bitch.
Subtle stuff, you know what I'm saying? Subtle stuff, but makes a difference. So yeah, from after doing that, I'll probably go back again, maybe slightly just adjusting levels, massaging stuff, little stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Getting it right. Adjusting EQ a little bit, anything that I have, any plugin that I have, adjusting whatever I feel needs to be adjusted just ever so slightly to really fine tune this thing, you know what I'm saying? And then once I get that going, static mix feels good, I'll do some automation. In this case, I didn't do any automation, but I'll do some vocal automation right here on the lead vocals, on the ad-libs, background vocals, whatever is needed, and also in the song if needed. You know, if I need to, as a whole, turn the hook up as the song goes, I'll do that. I'll do any kind of automation moves, all that kind of stuff, and then, or I'll do more arrangement changes. I'll make more delay throws if I need to, or whatever I need to do, right? So all of that stuff. Now I got the song feeling good. Now I'm gonna reference and listen on different, well, in headphones, you know what I'm saying? I'm get a different perspective of my mix. I've been listening on my JBL LSR 308s, which obviously they're solid speakers, don't get me wrong. I've been using these for a long time, and I know them very, very well, but there are better speakers out there, you know what I'm saying? And there are some, maybe not inaccuracies is the word that I'm looking for, but hey, everybody's not listening to my mix on these speakers. So it may sound good here, but it may not sound great on your Apple headphones. So let me listen on the Apple headphones. That's the first thing I listen on. Then I listen on some beats, solos, and then I listen on this little Bluetooth speaker that I have. And I make adjustments on all of them. The Bluetooth speaker is the last one because usually that's kind of like the tell all. You know what I'm saying? If that shit sounds like ass on there, the mix kind of sounds like ass. So if that shit sounds like ass on a Bluetooth speaker, I'll make some adjustments on the Bluetooth speaker. Then I go back to them studio monitors. And it's not gonna sound like ass, but there are some things that are like, okay, this is muddy. Let me fix that on the Bluetooth speaker. Or the vocals aren't cutting through like how I want them to. Let me fix that on this Bluetooth speaker real quick. And then let me listen back on my monitors, make a few little adjustments. Then let me listen back on the Apple headphones, back on the solos, then back on the Bluetooth speaker. And then usually, okay, yeah, we good. Everything is sounding like how it needs to sound now. You know what I'm saying? But the Bluetooth speaker is like my final check, you know? If it's sounding amazing on that speaker, and also I've spent a lot of time with all of these mediums of listening. I've spent a lot of time with these studio monitors. I spent a lot of time listening to music in my Apple headphones, a lot of time listening to music on my Beats, a lot of time listening to music on this Bluetooth speaker. So I know how great music sounds on all of those mediums. And if I'm not there, I'm going to go back and get there, you know? So those are my listening methods. So after I've gone through all of that, the mix is done, we feeling good, I'm gonna print that thing. So all the way at the top, this is my printed 1.0 mix right here. Let me just bring that up. I'm not really gonna go through this. I'm gonna just talk about the concept of it because I'm having some obvious CPU issues. Um, but yeah, so I print the mix up here 1.0, and then I inactivate everything, and I go here and I kind of just do some quick mastering stuff. I'm not trying to send a perfectly mastered song out. I'm just really trying to get the level up so that when the client or the artist or whoever hears the song, it's not way lower than everything else they've been listening to all day, because that will throw most artists off. You feel me? So I just put a little EQ. First thing I really do, I just do a little bit of compression, and I probably do this in parallel. I mix it in with the wet knob on this compressor. Sometimes I use the gray. Sometimes I'll use the McDSP G console compressor. Sometimes I'll put a SSL on here. Sometimes, and then for my limiter, just slight little peaks going crazy. Sometimes I'll use the L2, and then the Slate Digital limiter, virtual mastering console. I'll use that on there, and then I'll use the isotope limiter. I use the vintage limiter and the maximizer on there, and that's it. And I'm just literally using this to get the level up. And while I'm getting the level up, I'm usually looking at my RMS on here, trying to get around like 9 or 10. I'm really not trying to go crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get this to 6 RMS. And then I'm looking at this for my loudness. You know, momentary, some stuff can be up here on this particular meter. Like -14 is, you know, pretty healthy, you know what I'm saying, for me on momentary-ish. But I'm not really looking at the meters for like, this is how loud I should be. It's more like a feeling thing, and I know what level stuff should sound like depending on where I have my level set on, you know, on my speaker system. But it's just kind of like a check thing, you know. So I don't want to give y'all specific numbers to be trying to hit, because my mix can be hitting at 14, but it can still be sounding quieter, because it's also loudness. Achieving loudness is a part of the mixing process too. You gotta, the way you mix a song can help you to get it louder, you know, so that's important to know. So it's not really all about these numbers, or perceived to be louder, you know, it's perceived to be louder. So but that's the concept. And then I print that, and this is the track that I printed, and I send that off to the artist, and they listen to it and they let me know what they think. And then if we need to make any adjustments or whatever, then we go 1.1 and 1 point however so many we go. So let me make sure that I got everything. I think low key we hit that shit. I think we motherfucking done. Goddamn, bro, I'm trying to stop cursing so much. It's not working. It's not working at all. I think it's getting worse. Jesus. Let me switch this camera back. So that is the mix. That is my mix for John H. Bravo featuring Kxng. Song titled Early Bird. Beat produced by me. Mixed by me. Recorded Bravo's vocal. Shout out to y'all for staying this long and for watching. If you liking the vibe, like and subscribe. If you got any questions or any comments, any additions, any suggestions, whatever, let me know in the comments. Yeah, I'm here. You feel me? Like, shit, I'm gonna keep on making stuff like this. Let me know how I can make this better. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The link to the whole project is in the description. The whole project is called Bravo Bash. I mixed the first 3 songs on there. Early Bird, Bad Influence, and what's the other one? Happy Birthday. It's Your Birthday. Yeah, It's Your Birthday. Yeah, I mixed those 3. So yeah, again, you're liking the vibe, like and subscribe. We got this thing. Yeah.